Hi socialites, and welcome to another interesting day of learning how to make this beautiful front knotted or twisted top with a turn-up sleeve. I'm going to be breaking this into a very beginner friendly format, so if you're a beginner, best believe that you're going to get it at the end of this tutorial. So if you're interested in this one, why not sit right back, relax and enjoy watching as we delve into the process of getting this blouse done. As always, I have some items I'm going to be using for this tutorial, and here are some of them. To get started, I want to mark out the center fold that I'll be using for this pattern drafting. I'm not going to be using this side as my center fold. I'm going to be using somewhere here. Okay, this place is going to act as my center fold. So to get started, I'll get the shoulder divided by 2 and then add about 4 inches to that. So I mark that from this part of the pattern paper all the way here. So the shoulder divided by 2 is 8 inches plus 4 would give me 12. So I mark 12 from the other end of the pattern paper to this point, and I don't have them connected. So this is the width I'm going to be using for my pattern drafting, and this is my center fold for what I'm about to do. So next, I'm going to be getting all the vertical measurements, and I'll begin with the armhole of 9.5 inches for the armhole length because it is a cut together sleeve. And then I have the breast point, the under bust, the half waist. Then by the time I get to the half waist, I'm going to be adding an extra 4 to 5 inches, okay, to the half waist length. So the half waist is 17, and then I added extra 5 inches, whatever that gives me. That's the total length for the front. And then I have all those points or the vertical measurements connected horizontally, so I'm writing them out for clarification by the time I start drafting. So at this armhole length area, I'm going to be dividing the bust measurement by 4, but before I do that, I added 2 inches to the bust measurement because it is a free dress. So the bust is 38, I added 2 inches to give me 40. I divide by 4 will give me 10 inches. So I have that marked at the armhole length. So for the under bust and the waist measurement, I'm not going to be necessarily working with those measurements. I just come down to the last point, that's the last vertical measurement, and then the measurement at that part of the body I add 2 and also divide by 4. So whatever that gives me, I mark, and then I connect just from the armhole down to that point. So the next thing is to get the neck width measurement, and that is also dependent on your choice. So whatever you want the neck width to be or the neck shape to be, it's just your choice. For me, I'm using a perfect round neck measurement, so I use 3 by 3.5 inches, and then I come down to this side of the pattern paper. I come down by 3/4 of an inch. That's for the shoulder slant, and then I have that connected like so. Okay, so at this point, I just get the midpoint of this point. Okay, I get the midpoint, and then from there I'm going to be connecting downwards, but because my pattern paper is not long enough, I had to add, after which I just extend this point. That's why I'm measuring this, because I'm trying to extend this horizontal measurement to this point like so, and that's because I want to get the exact measurement I have on the left to the right. Okay, so I measure this point, and I'm going to be marking exact measurement on this part as well. Okay, so after that, you can remember the center point. I'm going to be curving it downwards. So with the help of my curve rule, I place and then I curve downwards, just as you can see me do, using that point that I marked here as the guide to know where the curving is going to terminate. So at this half waist length again, I'm going to be curving the other way around. I place my tip rule like so, and then I curve with this way all the way. So after that, I just use this point as a guide. That's why I'm going to be dotting this point. I'm not using this dot, but just as a guide, and then I connect this point like so vertically. Okay, so after that, I just make sure that here is not sharp. I have it well curved. And next, I'm going to be demarcating the pattern paper so that I can draft out the back pattern. So for the back, this is going to act as my center fold for the back pattern. Next is to mark out all the vertical measurements for the back, and just like we did to the front, I'm going to be marking the exact vertical measurement that I have at the front. The only difference is that the back is going to carry the length of a normal blouse length, okay, or a normal top length. Remember where we stopped at the front? If you can't remember, please go back. But for the back, I used a regular top length or blouse length, which was 24 inches depending on the height of the wearer. Okay, so those are all the vertical measurements. And next is the width of the shoulder, and just like we did to the front, we divided the shoulder by 2 and then added about 4 inches to that, and that's what we are going to be using for the width. And then this is the armhole length. I marked the same 12 inches. That's the shoulder divided by 2 plus 4, and then I have that connected. So at this armhole length area, I divide the bust measurement by 4 after adding 2, just like I did to the front, and I leave every other part. I come down to the blouse length, I divide the hip measurement by 4 after adding 2 inches to the hip measurement, okay? And then for the neck width, like we used 3.5 inches for the front. For the width, I did that to the back as well, but the neck depth for the back I used 1.5, and that's it for the neck. And then for the shoulder slant, I came down by 3/4 of an inch, and then I have that connected to the base of the neck. So after all that, this is what I have for my pattern drafting. So this is time for me to cut out, and then I'm cutting out the back. So this is how the cutting for the back pattern goes. Please guys, if you haven't subscribed up to this point, I indulge that you please do well support this channel by subscribing. You can do better by liking and then dropping those beautiful comments in the comment section. So this is the cutting of the front, and then this is how it goes. This is the neck area, the shoulder slant area cutting. Then this is our extension for the twisted or the knotted part of the top, and then this is the side of our top. Okay, so after cutting, this is what I have for the front and the back pattern. So at this point, it's time for me to cut on fabric. So I just placed my pattern paper on the fabric, and then I'm going to be adding 1.5 inches to the sides of the blouse. That's even at the sleeve area, and then the bodice I just added an extra 1.5 inches, and then at this down part I added extra 1 inch to the down part. Okay, and after all that, I proceeded to the cutting. So this is the cutting of the fabric using my patterns after I've added all my seam allowances. And after cutting the front, this is what the front looks like. Okay, so I take out my pattern, and then this is what I have for the front pattern. Like I said, I open it up, and this is what it looks like. It's going to be joined together, but before that, I'm just showing you what it looks like after it's been cut. So I do the same thing to the back pattern, added 1 inch to the down part, and then 1/2 inch for the joining at the center, because this back has a joining, but it's not compulsory, just in case your own does not have a joining at the center back. And then I cut out along the shoulder slant, and then the sleeve area added 1.5 inches. You can see the curving at the side of the sleeve. Okay, that's how it should be. So this is what the back looks, and I'm going to be joining the center of the back. And then for the stitching of the center front, I stitch all the way from here. I'm not going to be getting to this curved part. Maybe just stop at about 1 inch before the curve. Okay, you stitch all the way down to this point, and then you stop. And then after the stitching, this is what we have for the front and the back. So this is what the back looks like. Okay, I've joined it. Like I said, the back is not compulsory, you can just cut it as one piece. Okay, and then for the front, it should have a joining, and after that, you can see, like I said, you stop at least 1 inch before the curved area of this part of the front. Okay, so I open it up, and this is what I have. I'm going to be opening up the seams, or the center seam that I have at the front and then the back. So I did that with the help of a hot pressing iron, and then I have that. So for the knotted part of the front, which is the major or the core area of this blouse, I just twist it like so. Can you see? I twisted it, and then I turn this side over, and then I'm going to be stitching. I'm not going to be stitching all the way to the center. Okay, at the center area, you just stitch about 1.5 inches before the center line, or 2 inches at most. That, like from here to somewhere here, you can see the center line. You're not going to be stitching all the way to that point, but if you do that, it's going to look bulky at that point. And I do the same thing to this side. You stitch all the way from the side up to just like maybe 1.5 inch or 2 inches before the center. And after stitching, this is what it should look like. And you see how laid it is lying at that front part. And then I place the back on it, and then I close the shoulder area. Before I close this side, I'm going to be working on the sleeve area. Okay, so I close the shoulder, and for the sleeve, I open up the fabric like so, and then I'm going to be folding this. I fold first of all using 1/2 inch like so, and then I iron it out, and then I use about 1.5 inches. You can use 2 inches depending on how much allowance you have, and then I fold over again by 1.5 inches, and then I have that ironed. And then after that, I'm going to be stitching this point. Okay, so after stitching the two sides of the sleeves, this is what I have. So for our turn up, okay, so for the turn up sleeve, I'm going to be showing you how to go about the turn up. So for the turn up, after stitching like so, I'm going to be folding. I don't know, I'm just going to be raising this. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I just raise it up like so. Can you see? As if I'm trying to make another fold. I just hope you understand the point I'm trying to make at this point. I don't know how best to express myself, but I hope you can see what I'm doing. So what I already stitched, I just try to refold it as if I am trying to open it up, but I use the help of a pressing iron to hold it down. This is why I'm trying to zoom into this so that you can see clearly what I did here. So this is how the turn up for the sleeve came about. So this is how you go about the turn up for the sleeves. So you take your time to get this done, just in case you are doing this for the first time, okay? And then I'm going to be stitching at this center area, okay? So after that, this is what it should look like after I've ironed, and I'm going to be stitching on that joining at the shoulder. So this is what it looks like. So after stitching that, this is what I have. Can you see? The stitch is almost invisible. Can you see? So that is it. I did that to the two sides of the sleeves, or the two sleeve area. So after I've sorted that out, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to hem the down part of the top. So for the down part, I'm going to be hemming the back first, okay? That's the lower back. I'm going to be hemming that, and I'll show you the front as well. So for the back, I just fold half an inch and then 1 inch, depending on the same allowance you added, okay? So I just have that done. So after I've done that for the back, so for the front, I'm going to be folding using 1/4 of an inch to fold the down part. Let me turn it over so that you can, let me turn it to your side so that you can see exactly what I mean. So for this part, I'm just going to be using 1/4. I just fold it into 2, 1/4 by 1/4, okay? And then after stitching, this is what we have for the down part. So we are almost done at this point. So to finish up, I just this extension that we have at the front, I just fold it over to the back like so. Can you see that? You turn it over to the back, and then you have it pinned down like so, okay? So after that, you can now stitch the side, from the side, that's from the armhole area downwards like so. And guys, that's basically the last part of this blouse. And then I turn the neck area with bias or whatever I want to use to do the finishing at the neck area. And guys, after stitching that part, this is what it looks like. This is how I stitch, and then I'm going to be folding it out like this. Can you see? I fold the two sides out or inward like so, depending on whatever facing you have. And this is what we have, and at the end of the day, this is what our top came out looking like. Looking very simple, very beautiful. It's not a hard one at all. You can see how easy it is to get this top done. And guys, at the end of the day, this is what our top came out looking like. Very beautiful, very demure, very casual. So guys, I had to make another one in plain color because I felt this flowered fabric was not actually bringing out the beauty of this top. And guys, as you can see, this plain one actually did justice to the style. So I would suggest that if you're making yours, I would advise you use a plain fabric, because that's what's going to pop the style, okay? And you're going to really enjoy what you've done. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, guys. See you in my very next one. Bye, and have a beautiful day, beautiful night, depending on the time you're watching this tutorial. Thank you, guys.